And good morning, boys and girls. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of January, 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire. Now, I've made two errors already this morning before we've even started. Before I even started our little chit-chat this morning, I've made two errors as well. Number one, you may have seen when it first came up, the date was wrong. It said the 1st of January. Of course, it's not the 1st of January. It is the 2nd of January. And number two, I've accidentally shared the post to two groups that I shouldn't have done. Karaoke London and Static Caravan Chat. So if you see me have appeared on either of those two, please delete me off that, because I can't. I'm not able to delete that without deleting the whole thing from everywhere else. And I'll tell you why I've done that accidentally. What happens while you're watching that little bit of film that we do every morning, okay, I bring up all my Facebook groups. Now, I'm going to show you this. Okay, I'm going to show you that. There it is. Now, I can't do it like that because it whites out. So I'll just show you. You see these little greyed out areas? These are all Facebook groups that I belong to. Facebook Live, Facebook Live Stream, Learn English, radio presenters, and I share it on those walls. Now, unfortunately, you don't just get the groups up that you want to share on. You get all your groups up there. I don't think you can make a group of groups, if you see what I mean. So others come up that I'm a member of as well. Trade Babies, that's an old club I used to go to 20 years ago or so now. Talk Radio, although we could go on that one. Various karaoke groups and some other little bits and pieces that I'm on there, you see. And it's so easy to hit the wrong one as you're speeding down there, trying to finish it off before we actually start the show. So that's why that's happened. So apologies that I've accidentally shared that to other walls. I do that sometimes, and it's always by accident, okay? So apologies for that, boys and girls. Adam, I see, Adam, you're there this morning. Your messages never came through. There's no memory problem with the mobile phone at all. I wonder if you could send me a text message, Adam, this morning from your phone. Double check the number you're sending it to, okay? 07551 259 675. And if you're still around with Royston, if he's there this morning as well, get him to send one, and I'll see if he's come through and yours. I have a feeling you've sent it to the wrong number. Please double check your numbers with me. Thank you very much. Right, who's with us today? Let's have a quick look. Diane Jebb, first message of the day from Diane Jebb. Good morning, Diane. Shania is in the house. Ferrell is there. Music Man Ferrell, good morning. He's been selling his CDs. Ray Reynolds is wishing everyone a merry Wednesday. Andy, good morning, Andy. Wolfgang's there. Good morning, Wolfgang. It was his birthday the other day. I do hope you saw us singing your happy birthday, Wolfgang. Brian Fitzpatrick. Good morning, young Brian. Welcome to our show. Where else are we? Is that it? Is that all we've got this morning? Oh, you're all very quiet today, aren't you? That's over on YouTube, on Facebook Live. Over on YouTube, John Parrish says, hello, sailor. Oh, hello, darling. All right, my love. All right, Johnny, baby. Morning, John. Hope you're feeling a little better with the man flu. No, I don't know if I had man flu, but the sniffling. It's the asthma. It's the asthma, you see, and it happened again yesterday. And it's only at my sister's house that it gets really bad. It's awful. By the way, let me do one more, couple of more messages. Oh, John. Same shirt and same jacket. There you go. John likes to notice anything that he thinks is wrong and mentions it rather than keeping his mouth shut. Like that, aren't you? Hello to Michelle White. Good morning, Michelle. All right, darling. Ferrell is making the bed. Oh, was it empty again last night, Ferrell? Never mind, lovey. It's one of those things as you get older, you get used to it, you know, sleeping alone. I mean, you want to invest in an electric blanket. Oh, yes. And get the big one. You know, with two sides, because you can find that you get, after a while, you get hot, and then just put one side on, and then you just shift over into your bed. Into the other one, I have a large double bed. Thank you. I like to spread out like that, like a starfish. That's me, Starfish Chris, you could call me. Good morning to Tony Carroll, who's in Foxton, New Zealand. Good morning, Tony. My cousin lives in New Zealand. Patrick, he's over there. He loves New Zealand. Beautiful country. Ferrell's been single since 2005. Is that right, Ferrell? Me, 2000. 2000 for me. That's when I was last think I was going out with someone. 2000, dear. Long time ago, innit? Right. Now, just to let you know, sometimes your messages don't come up, and we started this the other day. Okay, we actually started this the other day. If you find you've sent a message, okay, and it hasn't come up for 20 minutes or so, hasn't been read out, and it's of interest to people, please let me know or resend it using your Facebook Messenger system, and I'll pick it up from there. Okay? YouTube, no problem. That works fine. Periscope messages simply just don't come through. So if you're watching on Periscope, I'm afraid I don't get your messages. You can be as vile as you want. Don't care. Can't see it. All right? So just to let you know that the Facebook messages are quite important to the show. And if they don't come up, send it as a Facebook Messenger rather than in the chat box. And I'll pick it up like that, my darlings, as I check through what's going on here. Okay? Alrighty, so yesterday, no swimming yesterday, unfortunately. No, the pool was closed yesterday, so I couldn't go down the swimming pool, unfortunately. But nevertheless, I walked after the show. I went over to my sister's house. I did a few bits in here. I had a little bit of a hoover. I must say, do you know, I think I keep this caravan tidier than I do my house. Absolutely. It seems to be a lot easier to... I think it's probably because there's not an upstairs and a downstairs, you know. Whenever, for example, no dishwasher here, right? So when I've had my dinner, or whatever, breakfast, or had a cup of tea, as soon as I finish, I go over to the bowl, wash it up, put it away. That's it, done. Whereas at home, you tend to load up the dishwasher and, you know, 2 days later you might turn it on. By that point, there's actually mould growing out of the dishwasher. It's not really, because I don't leave any food on the plate. I'm a big believer in eating everything on your plate. Absolutely. So I do find it easier to keep the caravan cleaner. Every day the hoover comes out in here, I see a little bit of it. My sister and niece kindly bought me little sparkly Christmas trees. Yes. And you know what makes them sparkle? Glitter. So every now and again I look over at the carpet, and there you can see it, can't you? That little bit of shining glitter in the carpet. Oh, another bit of glitter. Out comes the hoover. I've got a cordless hoover here, Vax, which is quite good, you know. I don't suppose it's that powerful, but it seems to pick up the dust. But I do find it easier to keep the caravan cleaner than I did the house. Funny that, isn't it? So I cleaned up the caravan a little bit and then went over to my sister's house. Good morning, Christina. Hello, Christina. Greetings from Portsmouth Hospital. What are you doing there? I'm awaiting my long overdue surgery. Are you having something removed, Christina, or put in? Which is it? Removed or put in? In fact, we could open this. We could make it a competition, Christina. We could ask people to vote on whether you should have something removed or put in. Dial this number now. Good morning, Maureen. Maureen sending in a text there. Good morning, Maureen. Welcome to the show, sweetheart. All right. Missed you Monday. We didn't have our little session together Monday, did we? Good morning to Weird City Citizen joining us on Facebook Live. Katie, the last time Katie went out with someone was 2003. Gosh, we were all single for too long. Oh dear. Tony likes the Christmas theme. Thank you, Tony. That'll be up until Sunday. Don't forget, I've got two places. This is the one up here. There's also one down in Bracknell. That's Santa on his sleigh. You will see that, I think, once or twice more. You've got to take your decorations down. I did say Saturday. You've got to take your decorations down by 12th night, which is Sunday, okay? Sunday, you must take your decorations down. Very unlucky to leave them up beyond that. Also very unlucky to take them down before that. All these people that are rushing around their little trees and things, putting them back in their boxes, screwing up the fairy light bulbs. You don't have to do that anymore, do you? LED lights. My friend Ray Reynolds gave me a lovely string of little blue lights to put round the caravan, but I've yet to discover a way of attaching the lights to the caravan. Haven't worked that out. I mean, gaffer tape would be fantastic. You know, gaffer tape fixes everything. If you've got any problem at all, gaffer tape. In fact, Christina, I think you'll find if you had discovered gaffer tape before you went into surgery, you wouldn't have had to have the surgery. It fixes everything. In fact, I've heard that on Holby City and Casualty, they use gaffer tape to repair broken valves in hearts. Did you know that? Yeah, it's true, darling. Tony! Tony, thank you. I'm glad you like the Christmas. Adam says he's sent a message. Nothing. Nothing, Adam. There's nothing from you. Send Royson a text message and ask him to send me a text message. See if that works. You're the only one that the text message doesn't seem to work for. Isn't that strange and mysterious, Adam? Look, there's nothing here at all. Last message was from Maureen. Just one message from Maureen this morning. That's it. You can't send texts. Hang on a minute. Haven't you got two phones, Adam? One for business purposes. You used to have two phones, I think. Morning to Merlin. Morning, young Merlin. Rob. Good morning, Rob. Whack something in. Better to have more in than less in the body. Okay, that's a good idea. There you are, Christina. Rob suggested you put something else into your body, dear. I'd love to have something in. It doesn't matter. Good morning to Tan. Good morning, Tan. Speaker's Corner. Thought I'd seen you in West Drayton, Middlesex. You resemble someone, do I? Perhaps it's me, Tan. Perhaps it's actually me. I don't live too far from Middlesex. I mean, at the moment, I'm in Lincolnshire, but I have a house in Berkshire. So that's quite near Middlesex, isn't it? Yes. Brian Fitzpatrick, 6th of January, Little Christmas. There you are. 6th of January is when you must have your Christmas decoration down. Thank you very much. All right. Let's have a look. That works, but no text. John Parrish uses self-adhesive micro hooks for the lighting. Now, that's a good idea, John. I think I can get those from B&Q, can't I? I know the little things. Good idea. I'll try that. I'll try that. Do you think I should have little lights around the caravan? Or does that make it look too camp? What, me being a real man and all that? You know, we can't have too much sparkle here. I don't want to attract attention. You know, anything could happen to me while I was laying in bed at night. People could break in and do terrible things to me. Might leave the door open tonight, actually. Good. Alrighty. So as I say, no pool yesterday. Went to my sister's. We had a long walk there instead of went for the pool, going down the pool, where we had two prams to push. There was baby James, who fell asleep, and there was Olivia, and there was Harry, and there was Evie, and there was Emily. And we all went down to Budgeons, actually. So it was about an hour's walk there, and we went kind of a long way around and back again. So that was nice, going for a walk. And I had to go to Budgeons because, shock horror, I have run out of moistened toilet tissues. Now, these are very, very important. Very, very important. And I've told you this before. Now, I hope you're not having breakfast. I'm going to try and explain it in a non-filthy way, a non-disgusting way, okay? Moistened toilet tissues, okay? You think, oh, don't really need those. Don't really need those. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because the dry ones just move the stuff around. They do. Now, you don't believe me, do you? Okay, go outside later and get a bit of mud, okay? Put it on your wooden or stone floor, okay? And then try and get it up with a piece of dry tissue paper. You'll find most of it comes up, the solid parts of it come up, but it's difficult to get that, like, shall we say, the skid marks. The skid marks just don't come off the floor. And then you get a damp cloth and wipe it up easily. Right, now liken that to toilet paper. Liken that to toilet paper. It doesn't cleanse the area correctly. And it's very, very important to cleanse that area correctly. And I had run out of moistened toilet tissues. No need to buy the Andrex ones. Go into Lidl or Aldi. You get them for about 53p instead of £1.20 or whatever it is. And they are the ones to use. Well, I'd run out here at the caravan. I'd run out here at our Lincolnshire television studio complex. I'd completely run out of those things, right? So we went down to Budgeons. I thought I'll get some of those. And I wanted to get those, you know, I think moistened tissues are kind of an item that may be embarrassing to purchase, like certain men's products when you go into chemists, and certain ladies' products for a man to buy, perhaps for their girlfriends, wives, whatever, when you go into the supermarket. You don't want to be carrying a little box of those tampons, do you, chaps? Do you? Or the little panty pads. It's not something that we like to go into the supermarket and purchase. And I think I think the moistened toilet tissues do fall into the category of embarrassing items to buy in supermarkets. For me, they absolutely do. It's a little bit embarrassing buying those things there. So, you know, I quietly put them into my basket along with a bag of Walker's Sensations cheddar cheese and chutney crisps. They weren't for now, they were for later. They're my favourite crisps. Walker's cheddar cheese and onion chutney crisps Sensations. Oh, they're so strong. They actually sting my gums when I put them in my mouth. So I've dropped those in there, and I'm going around, and all of a sudden, no, sorry, I haven't got the moist. They've run out of moistened toilet tissues. There were none in there. So I'm thinking, oh, what can I use now? I haven't got any moistened toilet tissues. I thought, hang on a minute, baby wipes. Surely that's the same thing. Baby wipes, I thought to myself. You know, I've seen my niece and my nephew's wife grabbing out this little package of baby wipes, and so I purchased some baby wipes as a replacement for my moistened toilet tissues. Right? There they are. So I've put those in the basket, and I've kind of put the crisps over them. I thought no one had noticed those. How wrong was I? Immediately, great nephew Harry, 5 years old, stands there, points, and says in a loud voice, "Ha ha ha, you've got baby wipes, Chris. Why have you got baby wipes?" Everyone's looking around. I said, because there's no moistened toilet tissues. And he's just, he thought it was hilarious. The fact that I bought baby wipes. How is that hilarious? They're just an item. Anyway, so we did that. And then we went, there's more to this story coming up in a moment. We did that, and then we went back to my sister's house. I bought the children some sweets. No, what did I buy them? Drinks. They little, you know, fruit. I think they're called fruit shoots, aren't they? Different coloured plastic bottles. Oh, they're wonderful for the environment, aren't they? So they all had one of those. It's funny. There were 3 of them out. There was a great niece Evie. She's 6. Great niece Emily. She's 4. And great nephew Harry, who's 5. I think I've got the ages might be slightly different. Only a year, one side or the other. And it's funny, you know, one says they want something, and immediately all the others want one. You know, I think it was Evie who started. "Oh, Chris, can I have a drink?" "Yeah, go on, help yourself. I'll have a drink." And, "Oh, Chris, I want a drink." "Oh, Chris, I want a drink." They like women going to toilets. Have you been in a club? Have you ever been in a club? You know, women going to toilets. "I'm just going to the toilet." "Oh, I'll come with you." "Oh, I'll come with you as well." And in the end, there's 200 people queuing up to use one cubicle because they all want to go to the toilet at the same time. What's all that about, ladies? Men don't do that, dear. Men don't do that. We don't do, "Oh, I'm just going to the toilet." "Oh, I'll come with you." I mean, I follow most people to the toilet. I can't lie to you, I really do. But generally, men don't do that. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, back to this in a moment. Let's see some of your messages there. One moment, please. Here we are. Rob, sorry, Christina. Oh, Rob feels awful. Don't you feel awful, Rob? It's all about having a laugh, this programme, Rob. We don't take life too seriously. You know, if you want to take life too seriously, go and join one of those militant vegan groups or a feminist group or an all-male group, something like that. If you want to be serious, go and be a Corbyn supporter. They're all serious people. They don't know how to take a joke. All right? John says you've got no looks. Really, John? Oh, come on, John. Have a look at yourself, mate. That's no looks. Looking at yourself. Morning to Adrian Richardson. Brian Fitzpatrick says, lovely topic. We aim to please here, Brian. You know, if you want serious, watch BBC Breakfast News. That's very, very serious this morning here. Morning to Joanna. Rob, Chris, would you ever consider doing a United Kingdom live talk caravan tour at different cities across the UK? Rob, I'm in a static caravan, not a tow around. Yeah, so no, I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not in a tow around. I'm in a static caravan. Okay, So this doesn't move around unless you employ a big lorry to come and pick you up and put it back down again. Although the caravan I'm in is about 20, it'd probably fall apart if you tried to lift this off the ground, I reckon. It's so old. John says, I can't believe you got through all those bog rolls so fast. What are you doing with them? No, not bog rolls, dear. We're talking about moistened toilet tissues. I haven't got through a load of bog rolls. You're making this up as you go along, John. You are, lovey. You are. Brian, is Heidi not on today? I may be at Central Station on Friday for a sing-song. Yes, that's our next karaoke. Central Station on Friday, okay. Baby wipes are good for cleaning too, says Katie. It's these baby wipes. There were various different ones. I just took the cheapest ones. I think they were £1. Rumble's baby wipes, okay. Katie says it's a pack thing. One child wants something and they all want one at the same time. And women as well. Join a boy band, Brian says. What, me? I think I'm a bit too old for a boy band, don't you? I can't see me... I could see me doing... I don't know if I could be taught the dances anymore. You know, like you see the young lads, like for... I mean, they're not young anymore, like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, when they're doing all this dancing together and all that. And, of course, no Erection or whatever their names were. Is it No Erection? Something like that. You know, with Harry Styles and the little... who was the boy who left? Amick. Oh, what was his name now? Can't remember now. Can't remember. And then there was the one on X Factor, wasn't he? Pretty little thing he is. I don't think I could join a boy band. Although, if a dance instructor came and told me, then I would try and learn and do that. I would try and learn and be in a boy band, yes. Do you think I could be the lead singer? Is my voice good enough? I would do remakes, I think. I quite like old stuff redone. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Everywhere you look around. Or what about Welcome Home by Peters and Lee? Welcome home, welcome. Ba, 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 ba. Come on. I watched him on Top of the Pops the other day. I think we had it on Christmas Day, one of the old Top of the Pops, singing Welcome Home by Peters and Lee. Very, very good indeed. Anyway, back to the story. So we finished our walk and went back to my sister's house. And I then spent some time chasing the children around the room. They like that. They like that. Their favourite one, I think, is the zombie, you know. Like that. I'm going to... I've got the expression on the face. The arms have to be like that. Great niece Emily loves to scream her head off while running away from me like that. And I chase them throughout the house. I chase them. And then it was lunchtime and my niece done the most delicious lunch yesterday. And she made me, from scratch, a nut roast. Oh my God, it was delicious. Absolutely delicious. My sister said you wouldn't believe the amount of bread there was in it. But I mean, I didn't notice, to be honest. It was one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten. It was kind of... of course, it was nutty, but it was kind of peppery and sweet at the same time. Now, my niece reckons that's the almond flour that she used to make it. She put almond flour in there, which gave it a kind of sweet taste. And so on the plate, you imagine on the plate, so we got the nut roast, bit of a nut roast on there. There was gravy, roast potatoes, cauliflower, carrots. I think that was it. And you see the sweetness of the nut roast and then the kind of non-sweetness of potatoes and everything else on there really worked well together. It was absolutely delicious. The whole meal was delicious. It was. I've still got half the nut roast in my fridge at the moment because I couldn't eat it all. And then after that, what did we have after that? Oh, cheesecake. Oh, God. New York cheesecake. So I took a very, very small piece, you know, very, very small piece I took. And I had that. And I had a second smaller piece and a third as well because no one else was eating it. I mean, you don't want to chuck the stuff away, do you? So that was really nice. I got so tired afterwards, I'll come back to the caravan for a sleep after that. Let's have a look here. Michelle, Zayn Malik. That's it. I knew it was Malik, something like that. Zayn Malik left One Direction. He's got his own career. He doesn't like being in public, does he? Old Zayn, and it's such a shame. He's quite a talented chap. He is. He doesn't like. He gets worried when he's among lots of people, doesn't he? That it's not a disease. That sort of head issue. I can't remember. Agoraphobia, is it? I think he doesn't like going outside or something like that, or performing in front of loads of people. He had to pull out of a couple of concerts, didn't he? Either last year or the year before. I remember that. I hope he can overcome that. Secret Love by Doris Day. Shall I remake that one, Brian? La da 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 da. I don't know the words to that one, to be honest. Not sure the words to that one. Don't forget, gang, if your message doesn't come up and it doesn't get read out, send it as a private Facebook message, on the messenger system, and I'll pick it up from there, just in case you're wondering if you might have sent a message. They don't all come up on the screen for some reason which is unknown. Poor Adam can't even send a text message. 07551 259 675. That's another way of sending you a message. If you find it doesn't come up after, give it 20 minutes or so, because sometimes we just don't get to them quickly, then do send it either by Facebook Messenger or a text message on your phone, 07551 259 675. Okay, Adam, are you still with us, Adam? I want to show you the phone, and then you can see your name just doesn't come up there. Katie, you could be dancing with the stars. Oh, well, I wouldn't do the ice skating. Isn't that the ice skating one, Dancing with Stars? I wouldn't do that. Oh, no. Ice skating is not for me. I did do it a couple of years ago. My friend Wayne, it's about 3 years ago now. We worked together many, many years ago in the Black Cap, and also at a place in Clapham as well. And we kept in contact over all these years, and now and again we meet up 3 or 4 times a year. I usually go to his house. He lives right in the centre of London, Canonbury. Canonbury. I think he lives in near the bridge, near, I think it's London Bridge or Blackfriar Bridge, one of those. He's very, very close to there, and it's all new tube station and all that. And he lives there, so I usually go over to his house late at night, sort of about 8 o'clock at night, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And we get in a pizza, or he cook. He's a very good cook as well. Funnily enough, he did a nut roast once, and that too was delicious, absolutely delicious. So I usually meet up with him a few times a year. And one Christmas I was going over there. He says, "Oh, I've got a little surprise for you." I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yes." He said, "Just bring a warm coat," and that's all he told me. So I went there. I wonder what he's got. Maybe we're going out somewhere or something like that. And I get there and he says, I've got two tickets for us to go to the ice skating at Somerset House. And I'm like, "You've done what? Don't you want to go, sweetie?" "Oh, it'll be fantastic." And I'm thinking, I do not want to do this. I do. And if you don't want to do something, I think that's a precursor in actually being bad at something. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But he'd got these tickets. So we went down there. And I put these goddamn uncomfortable boots on. I mean, how uncomfortable is it to wear ice skating or those skiing boots? Oh my God, how uncomfortable are they? Awful things. Ghastly. So I put these boots on. And we've got to our allotted time, because you're only allowed so long to do this. And we've got out there on the ice, because I'm all over the place, aren't I? And I'm holding onto this barrier for dear life. I'm one of you see those people on ice skating rinks holding onto the barrier, crawling around slowly. Yeah, that's me. Hello? Oh, and people are going arse over tit as they're going round. I thought, I don't want that to be me. I think I eventually let go of the barrier for a short period of time, and I managed to go so far forward. Oh, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I ended up, because in Somerset House, this comes every Christmas, they have a main ring and a little children's ice skating ring. So I just went in there. There was a couple of elderly people in there as well. But even there, in the children's one, there's these little kids, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old, round and round they're going, "There's me," holding onto the barrier. Ice skating is not for me, I'm telling you that now. Oh, it's awful. Rob, people don't tend to dance with the stars, Katie. The stairs. They either walk up them or fall down them. Adrian, yes, they do have Grandad. Yes, they do have Grandad, and they're looking for new people to replace the Gibson brothers in the Bee Gees. Well, I could do that. Tragedy, night fever, night fever. The look of someone just under 80 to join them. You should fit in nicely. How rude are you? Fit in nicely with the Gibson brothers. All had special looks to term, and you have a really special look. Thank you very much. Anxiety. Thank you, Joanna. Yeah, that Zane, he's got a bit of anxiety issues, hasn't he? I don't know if he'll ever be able to get out of that. It seems to have been going on quite long. Chris, your package should arrive today or tomorrow. Chris has sent a package, haven't you, Chris? Thank you very much. You saw the card. Did you see the card that I showed people yesterday that another Chris had sent through? Chris Lotz sent through a card. It was a Christmas card, and this never got through to us, of my mate there. There's the card up there. That's Ronnie, my mate there. And me as the baby Jesus. Away in a manger, no crib for a bed. The little Chris Reardon lays down his sweet head. Thank you very much for that, Chris Lotz. Much appreciated, the stuff you send in there. Thank you. Are you going to see Cher? No, I'm not. She's all right, Cher, but just another singer to me. She's a legend, of course. There's only a few people I'd spend vast sums of money to see. Barry Manilow, Shirley Bassey. I don't know who else, really. They're the only two that come into my mind at the moment. All right. Katie, roller skates, do you? Oh, I tried roller skates. It wasn't too bad on those. I found those easier than ice skating. Yeah, I remember roller skating. You can get ones with light up wheels and all that now, can't you? Actually, when me and my mate was in Hamley's toy shop, they had some round there that you kind of, that they weren't like full roller skates. You kind of, they were like actual shoes, I think, and they only had two wheels, one at the front, one at the back. Whereas roller skates, you've got four wheels, haven't you? Two at the front and two at the back. It wasn't too bad on those. I suppose, you know, that comparison to ice skating is it likens it to having perhaps ice skating boots on, but with those stabiliser wheels that you have on bikes. You know, when you first start to learn to cycle, you've got those stabiliser things on there, haven't you? You're right, Chris. Oh dear. So that was my sleep. Then I went round to nephew Gary's house last night, and he was sitting there, and great nephew Harry was there, great nieces Olivia and Evie were there, and I was just playing with them most of the night. We watched a little bit of telly. They seem to like, you know what, they keep asking me for funny cat videos at the moment, so I link up my mobile phone to their LG telly, and I start playing cat videos on there. I did feel sorry for my nephew last night. He ordered a pizza, and he must have waited about an hour and a half for this blooming pizza to arrive. Mind you, New Year's Day, I suppose. I mean, there's not many places open New Year's Day, is there? There's certainly, but even the Co-op was closed here yesterday. It was only Budgeons that we walked to in the afternoon to get my moistened toilet tissues, which I'm going to come to those in a moment, which had to be replaced by baby wipes. And that was my day yesterday. I had a nice chat on the phone with my friend Ray Reynolds, chatting to him last night. We were talking about the June Whitfield thing that was on the television. And unfortunately, this wasn't advertised anywhere. It was just, of course, she just died a couple of days ago, hasn't she? The great June Whitfield. Hilarious and very, very professional actress. And they did like a in memory of June Whitfield type programme on BBC Two Colour. Unfortunately, it hadn't been advertised, so I don't suppose many people watched it, but it was very good, and I assume it's on the iPlayer. If anyone wants to look it up on there, just type in June Whitfield, and I'm sure you'll come out with that one. Okay. Katie says there's only one BG left. They are from Queensland in Australia. Are the BGs from Queensland? I didn't know that. Didn't know that. You know, I've been to Queensland, did I tell you? Yeah, it was a few years ago. I went to visit a friend of mine that I used to work with at Belushi's in Hammersmith. And he'd met a girl and he went to live out there. Bluches in Hammersmith. I used to do DJing and karaoke there, so that's how I knew him. And he's a young lad. And I went to meet him and his girlfriend and their family. And she's Italian, so it's like an Italian family. And they invited us round for dinner, you know, as his friend. So I got on the... no, I flew into Queensland. And I was only staying at a cheap, maybe an Ibis. I think it was the Ibis I stayed at in Queensland. It was so hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. I know some idiot in Queensland, when they were designing the city of Queensland, knowing how hot it is there, you got the sun beating down on it. So what do they put outside the town hall on the floor? Marble. Marble on the floor outside the town hall. And you walk past it and literally your trainers are sticking to the floor. You know where I mean, don't you, Katie? I bet you know where I mean. It's quite nicely set out, that city, I have to say. A lot of new buildings there. And they've got like this man-made kind of lake that everyone seems to go in. And in that heat, you kind of go in water to cool off. Not in that lake, mate. You get in the water and it's hot. The water is hot from the sun. I was told not to go in that. When I told Australians, when I told Aussie lads that I'd been in that pool, they said, you didn't go in there. Did you shower afterwards? And I said, well, I can't remember now. They said that apparently it's filthy in that lake. Is that right, Katie? I didn't know that. But really, it's so hot. And why you would want to put marble on the floor in those sort of weather conditions, I do not know. You could feel your feet sticking to the floor as you were walking across this marble. Never mind, So I went round to his house, or her parents' house, and they were an Italian family. I sat down. Well, the food, you felt like you were bursting afterwards. So much food just kept coming out. I think that's what our Italian friends do. They do eat quite a lot. You're never hungry after an Italian meal, are you? That's one meal I like. I like Italian. Anything with pasta or spaghetti, something like that. My favourite, I think, is spaghetti arrabbiata or arrabbiata. I can never say the word properly. That's the one with the chili that blows your head off as you bite into it. You're like, aren't you? I'm coming to the baby wipes in a minute, don't worry. Morning to Paul and Lou. Christ, you're a bit late this morning, dear. 10:05. We've been here for 35 minutes chatting away. Why are you all so late? Gosh. Terrible. Let's have a look here. So that's it. That's my day yesterday. Today, I want to go and see if I can have my hair cut. As noted by my dear niece yesterday, who says, oh, your bald spot's getting bigger. Well, look, can you see that? Now, the point is, when you've got that, you've got to keep your hair really short. Because the longer it gets, the more obvious the bald bit on top becomes. So I'm hoping, I don't know if he's open today, but I'm going to see my personal hairdresser, H, who works down, he's got his own little place in Coningsby, and he's a lovely bloke. He likes to have a chat. I met his daughter the other day. Do you know what his daughter does? She's one of those can't pay or take it away type people. She is a bailiff, and she's telling me these stories and all that. Hilarious. I said, do you ever feel sorry for anyone, you know, if there's a couple of kids in the house or something, you've gone round to evict them? She says, no, I'm a heartless bitch. And she was telling me things, actually, that I wouldn't have thought about, to be honest. For example, when you go to a house and, you know, they say, oh, we've got no money, we can't pay what we owe. And then you look in the car, you know, whether it's a new car or an old car, doesn't matter. She says, you know, and there's a few McDonald's wrappers in there or Kentucky Fried Chicken. And you know where I am here, you can't walk to a McDonald's, you know. That's an outing. To go to a McDonald's or a Kentucky Fried Chicken, for me here, is an outing, okay? You cannot possibly walk to one unless you've got 3 days to spare. So you have got to go in a car and go to it. She said if they can afford to put petrol in the car and the insurance and go to a fast food restaurant and spend 20 quid on their family's meal, then they can afford to pay my bills. It's all about priorities, you see. And she's she's right there. She's absolutely right. You know, I mean, I wouldn't dream of going to McDonald's every day and spending 20 quid like some people do. And you know there are people like that. There's nothing wrong with the food. I think it's okay. They're always clean, but to keep going there, it costs you a fortune. You can go and buy a whole loaf of bread from Aldi for 59 pence. And some butter, perhaps another 50 pence. Well, there you go. There's some meals, bread and butter. Isn't it? That stuff in Aldi is dirt cheap. It is. And she's quite right. You know, if they can afford to do this, that and the other, then they can pay the bill. She's right, you know. So it's something that I wouldn't have looked for, to be honest. Stephen says you've had that bald spot for years. Yeah, but Stephen, good morning, Stephen. All right. The longer the hair gets, the more obvious. Okay, let's just show it to you. All right. Are you ready for this? Hang on a minute. I've got my mirror here. Right, hang on. Ready for this? I'm going to do the... I hope I don't drop this. 7 years bad luck. Right. Okay, let's just try this. Look at that. Look at that, Stephen. Isn't it awful? Dear. And the longer the hair gets, the more obvious it becomes. So it must be cut short by my friend H in Coningsby. He'll probably give me a little bit of a tidy up round here as well. You know, sometimes I go in there and I say, oh, I just have the hair cut today. He said, no, have the... I said, I haven't got time. Oh, it won't take long. Give us the 20 quid. He's a great bloke, he is. Or H. A real pleasure to talk to people like that, I tell you. Brian, a 50-inch TV. I'm looking for one at the moment, Brian. I'm looking for a second-hand 50-inch TV. Maximum spend, 50 quid. Second-hand. But everyone wants like 100 quid for these things. I don't want to spend 100 quid on a second-hand TV. I'll get a brand new one from Asda, Polaroid for 229. But I don't want a new one, not for a caravan. I want a second-hand old TV. It doesn't have to be a smart or anything like that. As long as it's got one HDMI socket or two in there, I'll be happy with that. Can't find one. I thought a load of them would appear at Christmas. I just assumed that people would be upgrading stuff and things like that for their Christmas gifts. And then we'd get a load on there. But no, not the case, unfortunately. Katie doesn't eat fast food. The only fast food I have, really, would be chips. I do like chips. I do like chips. We usually go to... Oh, do you know we have an arranger? I don't know if we're going to Skegness this week or not. We usually go to Skegness every week. One little trip at Skegness. Don't forget you can text in a message. If you find your message isn't coming up, try texting it, okay? 07551 259 675 is my text in number. Right, before we go to the news stories, let me tell you about these then. So, baby wipes. Baby wipes, boys and girls. Now, I've bought these. If you've just joined us, a very good morning to you. If it's your first time here, especially a very good morning to you. We just come in most mornings and have a little bit of a chat together. Baby wipes. Now, these I have been forced to use because they had run out of wet wipes at Budgeon's supermarket in Woodhall Spa yesterday. So I thought, baby wipes, same thing, you would think that. And there I was last night on my throne, and I finished and I pulled out a baby wipe. And first thing, the smell. Oh, don't they smell lovely? They smell absolutely lovely. And I thought it's a shame. You know, it's a shame to get them dirty. But nevertheless, I had to use one. So I took out my baby wipe and I carefully folded it in front of me. And then I used it. Now, one thing I didn't expect was how slidey they are. And instead of a wipe, it was more of a slide. Do you do that? I thought, oh no, that's not working properly. So no, I cannot recommend you use these particular type of baby wipes as a replacement for moistened toilet tissues. They're too slippery. They are. The slide. Look. I suppose that's so that it's not too rough for little baby little faces and bums and things like that. They're too slidey. I love the smell. I smell like a baby now. Who wants to smell me? Go on, smell me. Smell me. Are you smelling me? Oh, they're lovely, they are. So there we are. I'm afraid I cannot use... I mean, they're better than nothing, but they say you can have... It slid straight back out the back of my crack here. Awful. Perhaps there's another brand I could try, But today the co-op will be open, so I'll be able to get some from in there. So can't recommend those particular baby wipes as a replacement for moistened toilet tissues, all right? Good morning to Adam, DJ Adam Deemer. Morning, Adam. Happy New Year to you, sir. Hope your New Year was busy. I chose not to work New Year's Eve. I can't be doing all that anymore. Oh, the hassle, Adam. All the hassle, dear. Oh, is it time? Is it time? Oh, you're a bit late. Oh, you're a bit early. Oh, you didn't do this. Oh, no, thank you. Done it. Got the badge, and more importantly, got the money. Yeah. Adam's a big-time DJ in London there. Ray says, I think you need a douche, dear. Did you ever see Irma la douche? No, I don't know what that is. What's Irma la douche? I don't know what that is, Ray. Is that some sort of film or something like that? I think we're going on beyond the things of decency now, Ray. Please be very careful there. We are going beyond the realms of decency. Katie says, thanks for sharing. That's all right, Katie. Anytime, sweetheart. Oh, you finished at 1 o'clock New Year's Eve. Oh, you lucky thing. Oh, mind you, what time did you start? Was that an 8 o'clock? You know Brian, don't you? Brian Fitzpatrick. Say hello to Adam there, Brian. All right. There we are. We're all on there this morning, aren't we? Weird Citizen, KFC is my weakness in fast food. It's not the chicken, is it? It's that crusty bit round the outside. That's nice. The batter. It's Colonel's secret recipe. That's what it is. Colonel's secret recipe. Katie says, what hair? I beg your pardon, dear. Oh, what can you do? A very good morning to Brad. Good morning, Brad. Let's see what you're saying there. Is this a religious thing? Let's read it. I've been hearing that there have been some hearings about picking up roadkill. Well, let me state to those states that here... Oh, is this an American thing? We have been using roadkill since the first hillbilly left his or her hill to pick up and use the roadkill. As this has been the way since Jero Hill that we've been using, as this was resolved for... Yeah, roadkill... I don't see any problem with cooking roadkill. What's the point of leaving it there? You know, if something's been flattened and it's dead on the road, pick it up and blooming eat it. Otherwise, it's just wasted. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right there. Okay, Adrian, do you get lots of complaints about your timing on coming early or coming too late? No, I'm always there on time, Adrian. In fact, if you're talking Central Station karaoke, you'll find I'm often there far too early. I've always been like that. I've always been early for work. When it's a karaoke night, I like to be there, in position, ready to go, a minimum of half hour before I'm due to start. That's the time I aim to always get there. Sometimes, there's been a couple of Fridays recently where I've actually got there an hour and a half before I'm due to start work because there's been no traffic. In which case you might say to yourself, well, why don't you just leave half an hour later? Because sometimes it takes longer. That's why. In my mind, the worst thing you can do in my job is be late. It's just me. That's how I think. I used to work for British Telecom. First of all, as an operator, because I didn't have any qualifications. I wasn't very intelligent academically. You know, I couldn't pass exams. I was so bored picking up books and listening to some old codger, you know, usually about my age, reading notes at the end of a classroom, and I'd used to hate that. So I didn't have the qualifications, so I went in British Telecom, became an operator, and once you were in, you just transferred across, and I became an engineer, and that was a good job. But when I was an operator, you know, you had 3 minutes, so if you were due to start at 8, if you weren't in by 3 minutes past 8, a red line would be put in the book, and if you went over under that red line more than 3 times, you had to go and see the supervisor and explain your issues. They were really strict on time. I don't think I was ever late in my time at British Telecom. Ever. I don't think I was ever late. DJing wise, well, I gave up DJing about 1.5 years, as you know. I just so fed up with it. I actually got fed up with DJing about 6 years ago but I just kept it going, really just for the money, to be honest. I can't lie to you. I had a fantastically brilliant time DJing in the 80s and the 90s. Round about 2009, I started getting really despondent about it. I was so fed up doing it. I really was. And I gave up about a year and a half ago. Yeah. So I'm much happier. I love doing my karaoke. I love doing it. I absolutely love it. Good morning to Glenda in Pittsburgh in the US of A. Good morning, Glenda, who says, morning, Chris. Happy New Year. When is your birthday? I'd like to send you some more treats. Oh, Glenda, you're very naughty. Now, that would be very wrong if I was to advertise my birthday on this programme in the hope of getting something through the post. The 5th of February. On the 5th of February, I will be closer to 60 than 50. Oh, yes. How is that even possible? How did I get to that? Knowing the clubbing that I used to do in the 90s. Funnily enough, I last night at my nephew's house, I taught great nephew Harry and great niece Evie how to dance to one of the trade classics, He Never Lost His Hardcore by NRG. Look it up on YouTube. Now, I have posted that video on my Facebook wall, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK is where you'll find me there. All right, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. Just go to the post below this one, and you will see me teaching them to dance to the trade classic as played by the great Mrs. Woods in the 1990s. He Never Lost His Hardcore by NRG. And the tune goes... It's not quite techno. It's like it's very close. Hard house. It's hard house, and that's what I used to dance to in the 90s. And it was. I was just back there last night. I was teaching the two of them to dance to it, and we were going mad, and we loved it. We certainly loved it, definitely. Don't forget, gang, if you can't get your message through for some strange reason, send it on a private Facebook message through the Facebook messaging system, because sometimes the messages don't all get to me, okay? If you're on YouTube or Twitch or Vaughan Live, they seem to come through okay. Periscope doesn't come through at all. It's just how it... we're not quite sure why this is. We don't seem to be able to sort it out, okay? Let's have a call. Weird City Citizen, they said, it doesn't include Old Deer Roadkill, though. Old Deer Roadkill. Or can you just imagine that? Perhaps an elderly person that's been knocked over on the road. Why not just pick them up and cook them? You know, if you don't want to eat them yourself. I'm sure some people have got dogs or something like that. I think there's a terrible waste of human bodies. I really do. I mean, some of you, I think some people should decide that they want to be chopped up in small pieces when they're dead, boiled and given to pets. Why not reuse yourselves? Huh? We're always going on about this recycling, aren't you? And besides, you know, if your dead body is eaten by another being, do you not become alive again as part of that being? There's a thought for you. Whereas in the ground, you just become a tree. Not able to go anywhere. People chopping bits off you all the time to keep warm. Ghastly. Katie, we get that in our newspapers, wanting roadkill for their dogs. What, people advertise, do they? Advertising roadkill to sell on for dogs. Well, I think that's a good idea. Why chuck it in the bin? Mark Connor, good morning. Mark Conmore, I beg your pardon. Mark Conmore, good morning. Good day, mate. It's the £10 pom, Mark Connor. Good morning. Who's over there in Australia? Morning, Mark. I say morning, it's good evening to you. I hear the weather is nice. We have a young lady in Queensland with us as well today. Kate is there from Queensland. Did you see, by the way, Glenda, I've got your light up caravan here, which now has batteries in it. I wonder how long they'll last. Look at this. Isn't this fantastic? It's got little lights in it. Look. Glenda sent this. Oh, hang on, that way. Yeah, on, off, on, off. It's great, isn't it? I love it. Let's have a look there. Stop it, Adrian. Oh, I've had a word with you about that already. John Parrish, good morning, John. He's still there. I can't believe you're still there, John. You're usually gone after 2 minutes, aren't you? You've fallen asleep. Who says, thanks, Chris. I was eating my dinner, toad in the hole, when you advised the wipes are too slippery. They are too slippery. John, I don't want you to make a mistake. Do not try these if you've run out of toilet paper, okay? They're too slippery. You know, whoosh, oh, Christ, I nearly fell out of the back of a caravan with those on. It certainly is. It's winter time at the moment here, Brad. Whereabouts are you, Brad? Brian Fitzpatrick, are you Aquarius? Yes, I'm Aquarius, dear. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. Great song by Hair. Look it up, okay? It's Butler from On the Buses. I love On the Buses, Mark. They're all gone now, aren't they? Those people in On the Buses. Great comedy. Wouldn't be allowed now. Oh, it's really sexist and offensive to women. Oh, get real. It's a joke, dear. They're trying to make you laugh. My personal opinion of all this blooming, too much sexism, too much this, too much that on the telly. It's only entertainment. If you don't like it, turn it off. If you don't like me, turn me off. No need to sit there moaning your head off. Go and find something else. You know, perhaps you would prefer a little cartoon, maybe Donald Duck or something like that will be more suitable to your non-amusing mind. I don't know. Paul and Lou used to go raving. Those were the days in the 90s. Oh, they certainly were. They really were. Club called Trade I used to go. It was Turnmills. There were actually various clubs there. I used to go to all three. There was I went to Gallery a couple of times. That was on Friday nights. Supposedly straight night that was, you know. But those lads, they were up for temptation. They really were. On the Saturday it was Trade. That was a big gay night. And Sunday was two clubs I went to. FF, and then that finished and became Warriors. And I went to both of those. Then Warriors was replaced by Melt, but it was a bit too heavy for me. It was just like banging from the moment you got in there. There was no like build up. Do you know what I mean? How can I liken that to perhaps playing? If I was DJing, I did do Hard House for a little while at the place in Clapham I used to work on Saturday nights. I really enjoyed doing that. But unfortunately, I was only filling in for a nice chap who had heart surgery, and then he came back and had his job back. But I would like to have had that Saturday night playing the Hard House there. That worked quite well. But no, I was more of a pop DJ and an all-round type thing. And I can liken, whereas Melt would be going bang, bang, bang as soon as you got in. If it was my night, you'd start with something like, I don't know, Rufus and Chaka Khan, Ain't Nobody. And then further on in the night, you might be playing Journey, you know, Don't Stop Me Now, and build, and then Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. You see going like that. So you go in an upward direction. So harder and faster as it went up, so to speak. But Melt, it was just hot banging as soon as you got in there. It was a little bit too much for me, so I stopped going there. Thank you. Katie's seen the video. She says you all dance well in that. Thank you, Katie. Just for the record, apparently, John says the Bee Gees came from up north, but as they were naughty boys, the family took them to Oz on the Tenor Cruise. Is that right? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Good morning to Julian Clark. Good morning, Julian, who's just back from the usual blood test. Hope you're well, Julian. Is it warm where you are today in Tenerife? It is Tenerife you're in, isn't it? Tenerife. Oh, by the way, I haven't put my application in yet for this year's Love Island. They are asking for... Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I haven't put my application in for Love Island yet. I'm still deciding whether to put in an application or not. That was advertised yesterday. ITV are now looking for this year's Love Island contestants. I still have yet to purchase a small pair of shorts for me to wear on the said programme. Thank you very much. Paul and Lou, illegal warehouses and pop-up clubs. Not like these millennials now. They just play Xboxes. Oh, they're just so boring. They are so boring when they come out to clubs now. When we used to go to Turnmills, there were no mobile phones. Okay? We used to have we all took our tops off. We're all topless, okay? And we used to dance all night long to banging tune. Literally, hands in the air, dancing all night long. You go in a club now. Oh, let's do another selfie. Selfie. That's all they're doing. Taking bloody pictures of them. They are the most boring people ever. Millennials. Not all of them. Just 98% of them. They are so boring. They think it's so cool to just keep and the lips all the time. They don't know how to have a good time. And then something, oh, that's really offensive. They are so boring. I'm so glad I don't know many of them. I really am. Ghastly people. Thank you. Let's have a look. I need new earplugs. Didn't you like the tune then, Joanna? NRG. He never lost his hardcore. Look at that one. Katie's birthday is on the 27th of January. Make sure you've got that set on your Facebook, then it'll come up on my feed there. All right. Let's have a look. No Tom and Jerry, my favourite. Oh, Tom and Jerry. I love it. Very hot where Katie is in Queensland. Paul and Lou spent a fortune on white label and 12-inch 12 inches back in the 90s. Thousands. I checked them out on eBay the other day. They're worth bugger all. Yes, Paul. I dumped a load of vinyl about 7 or 8 years ago now. I had a shed full of it. It had sat there for 15 years. I thought, this is never coming out again. And I literally took the lot down the dump. A lot of people mistakenly think that their vinyl is worth an awful lot of money. I'm afraid it's not. It really isn't. Unless you've got, like, you know, one of 100 copies printed of ABBA's first ever single that's still in the packet and has been unopened and is red vinyl and signed by all of the ABBA cast, of the ABBA crew, then it's not worth much. Really isn't. All those records I chucked away, they'd been, you know, used and they were well worn through my years of DJing, you see. So they're not worth much anything. A lot of people think they're worth a lot of money and they're not. Adrian, my application for Laughing Island has been accepted. Oh, you're not going on, are you, Adrian? I don't watch those sort of things. I will watch it this year so I can comment or watch bits of it. Ghastly programme. Dennis, clubbing has changed so much now. These young'uns don't know how to have a good party. They don't. They don't. They just sit there looking for offence all the time. They absolutely do. Julian, Mallorca, I beg your pardon, 15 degrees, 59 degrees in Mallorca today. That's not bad, is it, eh? That's not bad at all. Sunny but cold wind. Well, cold for us. It's cold here at the moment. I think we might be looking at -4 here tonight. So that can be very cold in a caravan, I'll tell you, although I've got my mobile gas fire now, which is very useful. Although, of course, I wouldn't leave such a thing on all night. I've got some electric heaters and they'll be all right. John, Gibson brothers, born on the Isle of Man to English parents. The Gibson brothers lived in Chorlton, Manchester, Essex, until the late 1950s. I didn't know that. Good morning to... there you are. Ethie. How are you? Haven't seen you for ages. Good morning to you. And morning to Brian James. Yes, we do. We do. That's an ABBA song, isn't it? Da-da-da-da-da. I do. Da-da-da. You know that one, don't you? Yeah. All right. Let's just do a couple of news stories today, boys and girls, which I have gathered for you over at News Gathering Service in the newspapers. Oh, hang on a minute. It's not taking my passcode. Anyone have a problem with their thumbprint? You know that on the Apple stuff? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I've redone it a couple of times. I can't understand why that is. Why it doesn't always work. Very strange. Hang on a minute. Let me bring that up there. Good morning to Robbie Stedman. You're a bit late today, aren't you? Oh, dear. Very, very late. Very late, dear. ABBA, that's the one. Yeah. So, in the news this morning, and indeed last night, all the space-type people are very, very excited because a little probe has gone past something that is in the furthest reaches of space that we've never visited before. Story in this morning's Daily Mail. Jubilant... Oh, Christ. I just dropped everything. I'm not pissed. No, I'm not. 1 minute. Oh, God. These glasses won't stay on. Look at that. There you are. That's it now. Mary Poppins. I must go and see Mary Poppins. Julian NASA scientists were celebrating this morning after confirmation that their New Horizons probe has reached the solar system's outermost reach region, flying close to a space rock 20 miles long and billions of miles from Earth on a mission to gather clues about the creation of the solar system. So, did anyone see this on the news? Right? I got very excited by this. I don't know why I got excited. And they said, well, let's have a look at a couple of the pictures. So this picture come up and he said, yeah, it's a bit pixelated, but you can see it clearly. And I'm looking at this picture and I'm thinking, no, you can't see it clearly. It's just a rock. That's all it is. Now, how much does it cost to send up a probe to go and look at an old rock? How does that further humanness? How is that going to help us in any way, shape or form? I can't see it somehow, can you? What a waste of money. Did you see the picture come up? Oh, we're going to have a look at it now. I got all excited and up comes this really blurry image. And I think one of the presenters on several news programmes, he said, well, it's a bit blurry. Ah, yes, but it's a lot less blurry than we're used to seeing it. Huh? How does that work? I thought, what a waste of time. And a complete and utter waste of time seeing this rock. It's just a rock. You want a rock? Go down to the beach. Pick up a few of those and cut them in half if you want. That'll explain more to you than looking at a blooming rock, won't it? Dear me. Where Ethe is. It's also extremely early here. Very hot and humid. Where is that, Ethe? I can't remember where you are, Ethe. Do let us know. Brian James was partying last night. Brian, where were you? Did you get smashed? Have you just woken up? 10:30 in the morning. Oh, I've got to go and take my meds. It's time. It's time to take my meds in a minute. Adrian says, should I go to the gym today? Yes. Spend at least 3 weeks in there as your first thing, all right? Dear. Mark Connor, the Bee Gees ate my mum's cousin. Hi mate, the Bee Gees ate my mum's cousin? That don't make sense. Do you mean are my mum's cousin? I think you might mean are my mum's cousin. Mark says, the Bee Gees are my mum's cousins. She passed away last year, bless her. Sorry. I've got photos of me sitting on Barry's knee. And Lulu is there when we first come to Australia in 68, 69. Oh, wow. I like Lulu. You see, I think Lulu, people like Lulu, Barry Manilow, Shirley Bassey, Neil Diamond, Rod Stewart, all those, they should be judges on the X Factor, right? I might accept something taken for something like that. But, you know, no disrespect to him. Louis Tomlinson, you know, how long has he been there? Like 5 years a singer, and you're an expert, and you're judging people. I could never understand why Cheryl Cole was on there. I don't understand Cheryl Cole. Why is she on that? You know, that one of the greatest porn stars there's ever been, Cheryl Cole. Because that's what her dancing is, just porn. Isn't it? Legs wide apart, bouncing up and down on a stage. Oh, it's awful, awful. Lulu was married to Barry, was she? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Ethe is in South Carolina, 5:30-ish I.M. Can I call you Tay? That would be a lot easier if I can call you Tay. Thank you very much. I'm sure I had your name right before. I've got it wrong now, haven't I? Never mind, never mind. So there we are. There's the story of the rock. All right, boys and girls, we're going to do today's birthdays right now. Let's see whose birthday it is today on Wednesday, the 2nd of January, 2019. Happy birthday today to Chris Marlowe. Good morning, Chris, who I worked with many times at the Black Cap in Camden. Good morning, Chris. Happy birthday to you today. Jerry Melotti today is 68 years old. I've got something on there. What is that? Looks like a piece of yogurt. Oh my glasses. I had what's it called now? Overnight oats today for breakfast. You know, fat-free yogurts. oats and blueberries in a jar, all mixed up together. Very nice. You do it the night before, or 2 or 3 nights before if you want to. There we are. Got a bit of yogurt in my glasses. Joey Malone. Joyce Chastain today is 52 years old. Good morning, Joyce. Happy birthday to Joyce. Kenneth Jolson is 51 years old on this Wednesday morning. Happy birthday, Kenneth. And Doug Norman's birthday as well. Good morning to Doug. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris, Joey, Joyce, Kenneth and Doug. Happy birthday to you. All right? I talked to my friend Ray Reynolds on the phone yesterday, and he says, you need to try and get that music. You know, the happy birthday music. When I'm down in Bracknell in Berkshire, I am able to play you the back into that. I can't do it here. And the reason I can't do it here is because I can't hear it. Okay? I can't hear anything here. There's no speaker attached to the equipment here. So I need to get a small speaker, like a powered speaker, and attach it to the mixer. And then I'll be able to hear everything coming out there. Is that Paul Lou says, is that Cheryl Cole, Tweedy, Fernandez, Vicini, Spaghetti Bolognese? That's the one. Who's she going out with this week? Her and Katie Price are in competition to see how many blokes they can have in a year. I swear. They won't beat my record, mate. I'll tell you that now. All right, Tay. No worries with the name. It's not that easy. I always watch you on the replay. Well, you're with us live today, Tay. You're with us live for the first one today, which is quite nice, isn't it? You know, I fancy doing another story before we go. I know we've gone well over an hour today, and I do need to have my pills in the next 5 minutes, or I could die. I could die on air if I don't have those pills within 5 minutes, all right? Let's have a look here. Let's finish on this light-hearted story. The whole thing's light-hearted, really. If this programme gets any more light, it will just float away, I tell you that now. Embarrassing moment. Man goes in for New Year's kiss. Now, this appears that it's going to be a nice story, okay? It's a tradition in lots of places around the world to kiss someone when the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve. Now, sadly, over the last few years, this has not happened for me. It just hasn't happened for me, I'm afraid. You know, the days of people queuing up by the side of the stage at the Black Cap are long gone. No kisses for me. Especially this year, there were no kisses for me. But on the other hand, I was gooseberry this year, boys and girls. There was my sister and her husband on one chair, and it was my niece and her husband on another chair, and me. Mind you, there were 2 dogs in the room as well, so I could have sat next to one of those, I suppose, and I had a kiss. Bison, the Rottweiler, he would have happily given lick to all over my face. We like Bison. It goes on. It's great if you have a partner or are dating someone, but if you're going to use it as an opportunity to get closer to a crush, then you need to make sure you read the signs right. An unnamed man seized the moment on television as he stood next to a blonde woman while being filmed on Top 2000 Live on NPO Radio 2, a Dutch station, but it didn't go to plan. As he leans in, you know how it is, lads, as you lean in slowly, you get closer and closer to, you know, and then the mouth opens. And then the tongue goes. The tongue fires into someone else's mouth. Like that, doesn't it? As he leans in, the woman looks confused by his move, winces and suddenly dodges the peck. Oh, you miserable old bag. I've been looking at you, my darling. That's the best offer you're going to get all year. He looks quite nice as well. I wouldn't have said no. Mind you, I wouldn't say no to most people, to be honest. But there we are. Unfortunately for him, the moment was caught on camera. To make matters worse, it has now been immortalised on the internet. The cringeworthy clip was shared on Twitter. I hope your 2019 starts off better than this, guys. Oh, poor thing. It's now been shared 10,000 times. 10,000 times. Gosh. 10,000 times. I can only dream of such numbers. We're lucky to get to 100. So there we are. I mean, I think at some point people would just stop touching and kissing each other because no, everyone's worried about being taken to court and all this, that and the other. Never mind. All right, that's it for the show today then. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the programme on this Wednesday, the 2nd of January 2019. Don't forget, always have your little notification things set, because sometimes I'll do an extra nighttime show or something like that, and then you want that little bleep to come up on however you're watching, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, or any of those. Have that little notification set thing so you know when there's a show on. All right. Right at the end of our closing video, there's a new little bit right at the end there. You know, right at the end, those of you that I know most of you don't stay till the end, but right at the very end, it comes up with the logo and the date. There's a new bit now because it's a new year, which I started playing out yesterday. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you like it. It's very cloudy. Shall we say it's very cloudy? I hope you like the look of it. And I'll see you again on the next show. Enjoy your day, boys and girls. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.